Hello, my name is Olga. I'm walking around the city and I decided that today is the time for us to have our first Russian lesson. I don't know why would you need it. I actually would be wondering and would be really curious to know why do people want to learn Russian. That's what people do, so why not? Actually, I have some guesses, but I would love to hear your version of this. Okay, so I've been teaching English for quite a while. I'm trying to think of numbers and I don't want to because it makes me feel really old. old. But for the last couple of years I've been also thinking about maybe trying to organize some kind of Russian learning course. And at this point I'm a little bit stuck. I have some kind of trouble with planning the course because while I'm teaching English, I understand the structure of how I want to start, what is going to be the first lessons and how you're going to proceed, like what are the things that you learn first and then you learn in second, later and later, because I learned English myself, so I kind of can understand where the difficulties are and what is the moments which might be difficult again, complicated, and how you can overcome them. What are the things, that practical exercises that will help you overcome these difficulties and other things. But learning Russian for me was never trouble because it's my native language. That's why it's a little bit complicated for me to understand how I want to start. Because when you learn English as your second language, or when you teach it to somebody, the first lessons are usually about saying hi, hello, good morning, good evening, and then how are you doing? Hi, hello, how are you doing? That's your regular thing. The second, probably after it, will be the verb to be. I am, you are, he is, she is, which is a trouble for some languages. I mean, it's not really trouble if you already know Spanish, for example, because it will be the same estoy, está, estás, and ustedes, or maybe if it's German, if you speak German, you understand that ich bin, du bist, sie, hold on, sie ist, and other, right? But with Russian, that's a little bit more complicated because in Russian the verb to be in present simple is not pronounced. We don't have it. I mean, we used to have it somewhere back in the past. I actually never learned Old Russian. I did read the books, but I did not have the course on that. I did not really learn it in details. I know more about English. I learned Old English, like from 14th, 16th centuries English. I don't know anything about Russian. That's the interesting thing, right? And I know that we used to have the same verb, but now we omit it in the speech in Russian. That's why it's kind of complicated. So you don't need to learn it in Russian, but it still exists in other Slavic languages, like in Polish or in Czech. I did start studying Polish quite not a long time ago, so it's there. You can find it there. Jestem, and jesta, and other things. They also are changing with every pronoun which you're using. The same with Czech. But so we can omit this part in learning Russian. But the thing is that how do we greet each other? Do we want to start with that? Let's probably start with that. Again, it's not that easy because, for example, saying hello in English, or let's start with hi. Hi in English will be the same as привет in Russian. So, hi, привет, привет. There is that sound which a lot of English-speaking people cannot really understand how to say because they never have it. Привет, привет. And okay, but still, with some practice and practice, you can learn how to say it. Again, привет, hi. And it's something that you say to your friends. It's not an official greeting. The more official, the more official greeting would be like the same as hello, will be something more complicated in pronunciation. It will be здравствуй. Здравствуй or здравствуйте. The difference is who you are addressing. If you are addressing one person, it will be здравствуй. 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 if you're addressing multiple people, like a group, or maybe you're addressing in a polite manner somebody who is elder than you, or somebody like I don't know, maybe your boss, maybe your colleagues, the official tone, you will say здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. Right? Здравствуйте. So that's your official. I would say, how do you do in English? The elder, but no, it's not outdated. It's used. It's commonly used. There is also a simplified version where you say здрасте. Здрасте. Also, but здрасте has more complicated meanings. Здрасте is not socially good if you try to address it when you are in the job-related meeting, for example. That's less official. Family usage, for example, of friends. Здрасте. Like to go здрасте, everybody. But здравствуйте is the usual thing that you're gonna learn, probably, if you want to be polite and sociably accepted. One interesting thing, etymologically, the word здравствуйте has the same root as здоровье, so you wish somebody to be healthy when you greet them. Здравствуйте means be healthy. I mean, it doesn't mean it's like the same hello, but it means be healthy. So if I don't like somebody, I don't want them to be healthy. I am a mean person, right? I am. So I don't want them to be healthy. And actually, it's also in the courtesy rules. If you meet somebody a couple times a day, so it's not exactly in the rules of proper being gallant. You're not supposed to use здравствуйте several times a day. The first time you meet a person, you say здравствуйте. The other times you meet them the same day, you're supposed to use other ways of greeting. Or if you don't want to wish them good health. So there is another way, like saying good morning, good day, and good evening. We don't have the afternoon things in Russian. We say good day. I will go back to it later. And there is one more thing. Good night is not a greeting. I already encountered this mistake. Some people addressed me with that. They said good night in Russian to me, but it's not. It's something that you wish a person to go to sleep when they are going to bed, or maybe to say goodbye in the evening. That will be good, but it's not a greeting. All right, so how do we say good morning? Good morning will be Доброе утро. Доброе утро. Good. Добрый. Dobroi, and then morning, utro. All right? Okay, that's kind of simple for the beginning. Dobrое утро. Then we are moving to the next part. Okay, morning is the part of the day till 11. After 11, it's not afternoon. We don't have the concept of afternoon in one word in Russian. That's good day. After 11, that's already daytime. Some people argue about 10 or 11. Some people say that it's after 10 it's already daytime, but it depends on how early you wake up. Okay, after 11 you move to the daytime, so you will say Добрый день. Доброе утро. Добрый день. You notice that we changed the ending, and if you are familiar with the Spanish grammar, or maybe German or French, or actually all basically Latin-based languages. I did study some Latin at university. I had a course for a year. So all Latin-based languages and English used to have the same thing too. We do have to change the ending for the adjective depending on the pronoun. On the noun. And the pronoun sometimes. Yeah, both of them. Alright, so in Russian we have the same as in German, and I'm not sure about French. The same as in German, in Russian we can divide all the nouns into, I wouldn't say groups, depending on their gender. They can be feminine, masculine, and neutral genders. Alright, so utro is neutral case. That's why we're saying Dobroi utro. Dobrое утро. Yeah, and you notice I said that with the English accent, utro, and then when you say it in Russian, you say utro. The difference in the articulation will be different. We'll go there later. All right, so that's Доброе утро, and when it's day, it's already masculine. So we will say Добрый день, Добрый день, Добрый день. Or actually you can switch them. You can say День добрый or Утро доброе. They are reversible. The same if you learn Polish, for example, but they pronounce it differently. Dzień dobry, dzień dobrze, dzień dobrze, like that, right? Okay. And now let's move to the last part of the day, evening. Evening, not night. I am talking about evening. Evening is the part of the day. Actually, I'm not sure. So the day will be from 11 in the morning till 5, 6. This again arguable, depending on the point of view. The evening will start after 5, 6 somewhere till probably 10. I don't really know. Depends on the personality. Ой, that's windy. So good evening will be Vecher добрый. О, добрый вечер. Добрый вечер. Добрый день. Доброе утро. Okay, vice versa. First morning. Доброе утро. Добрый день. Добрый вечер. When you're learning a language, try to repeat. So if it's necessary, try to repeat several times. Pause the video, rewind the video and repeat. Доброе утро. Добрый день. Добрый вечер. Okay, you got it. What about night? Вечер is again, it's masculine, that's why we say Добрый день, Добрый вечер, the same way. Alright, what about night? Night, I told you, it's not a greeting, it's when you say somebody goodbye in the evening and then you wish somebody having a good sleep. That's actually, okay, let's look at the phrase itself. Доброй ночи. Доброй ночи. Доброй ночи. Do people greet like that? I don't think so. That's like saying goodbye. Доброй ночи, like goodbye. Have a good night. That's it. Okay, and the thing is, you probably noticed we say Доброй ночи. So basically that's the continuation of cut out phrase when I say I wish you a good night. But we cut out the first I wish you and we actually change the case. What the hell the case is of the phrase. And now the case. And now you are supposed to be thankful to Shakespeare and Chaucer, medieval writers who actually changed the English grammar. Because before 14th, 16th century, you used to have the same things. The same things, you used to have cases, you used to change all the words relating on the course after the verb. So they were all changeable and the endings were changing the same. But we still do change them in other languages, like in German and in Russian. And that's fun, yeah. And you don't only change the noun, for example, what is my example? That's why I'm saying that I don't know what to start with, because while giving you the simple phrase, I will overload you with the grammar. I don't want to overload you with the grammar. We'll go there later. We'll just really go there later. Just take it easy from the beginning. Okay, so we wish you good night. We say Dobroi Nochi. Okay, alright. But it's not the greeting. It's only goodbye. Okay, then the usual question when people start speaking English, they say how you, right? And the usual question to me is how to say how you in Russian. Right? So theoretically they consider that it's a simple thing, because in English you say how are you, I'm fine, right? The question how are you is advanced level of Russian. It's not the beginner level. You cannot learn it when you just start learning it. It's advanced level. You cannot learn it right now. I mean, to say how are you will be Kak Dela. Kak Dela. How business it runs. How it runs. We don't have R in present simple, I told you before. And then you can actually add как твои дела. How your things. No, not things, businesses. Дела, businesses or errands. Things are... No, we say business. We got a business, you know. So, как дела. But the thing is that if you are asking, как дела doesn't really sound complicated, so you can learn it easy peasy, right? Как дела? Easy peasy. But the thing is that the cultural thing already. If you are asking a Russian person как дела, how are you? You gotta be ready for the whole life story, because that's not the question. How are you? I'm fine, thank you, goodbye. How are you is already the level when you are caring about the person. And if you ask somebody how are you, Kak Dela, they will tell you how they feel, how they do, how they feel badly. Actually, they will complain. Yes. Oh my, that's, yeah, it's funny, because I did the same thing last year when we just came to the USA, and the people ask me how are you, Kak Dela, in my brains that's Kak Dela, and they look at me so, oh, how, with such a care, and I consider it, they care about me. Okay, I can tell you all my things, and then they keep that thing that you start complaining. Something's bad, your health is horrible, your boss is horrible, everything is so horrible. Yeah, theoretically you can say нормально, but you know, there's not how Russian answer. That's why it cannot be considered the beginner question. We can probably continue with the next video, because by now you are quite okay, you are overloaded, and I guess that will be enough for the first lesson. Okay, so sign up to the channel. I hope we are going to learn a lot of things later in the future. If you are interested, click the like button. If you have the questions, there is a comment section below. If I don't know something, if I don't know, you can complain about it. If you like this channel, if you don't like, there are still comments. I will take criticism as the thing to develop, to improve. That's why I'm okay with criticism. Go ahead. And in the next video we're gonna try to look at how you can reply or respond to how are you, Kak Dela. Нормально. But okay. So thank you for watching. Subscribe. See you later. Bye bye. Пока-пока. Oh yeah, how to say goodbye. Пока-пока. That's bye bye. But it's, again, it's friendly when you're really good friends. If you are having official conversation, that will become more complicated. It will be до свидания. До повиdzenia. That's in Polish. До свидания. До свидания, like see you till the next meeting, I guess, something like that. See you later. But see you later will be different. So до свидания. Пока-пока. До свидания.